All right, well, welcome to Navigate, the Navigate 2 demo for Navigate 2 Advantage Access Healthcare in the USA. My name is Courtney Tibbetts, and I'll be showcasing all of the exciting new technology products that will be available for, that's currently available now. This course is officially rolled live, but before we begin, I just wanted to give you a little bit more information on who I am. So my name is Courtney Tibbetts. I am the Solutions Analyst Team Lead at Jones & Bartlett. Our primary function for the Solutions Analysts is to provide, basically offer education on the Navigate 2 platform. So after you've decided to move forward using Navigate 2 in the classroom, we encourage you to reach out to JBL Solutions at jblearning.com and request a training. And we'll go ahead and take you through step by step all of the great components in Navigate 2. So Navigate 2 is our new learning management system platform that was pushed live, rolled live at the beginning of September. It allows educators to share content across multiple geographies. The current Navigate 2 platform is based on Moodle 2.4, and we're embracing all of the great new functionality that's available in Moodle 2.4. Even though Navigate 2 currently resides on our fully hosted Moodle platform, we're also embracing the need to provide solutions for some third-party LMSs, for example, Blackboard. In fact, we're taking advantage of the Blackboard Partner Cloud, which allows us to store the content up on the cloud so that it then can be deployed on Blackboard Learning Management System. So if you are locked into a required Blackboard scenario, there's great news that you'll be able to use all of the great functionality and the features with Navigate 2, including the ebook. Around a year ago, we established a collaborative team, and the first question that we asked ourselves is, how do we take Moodle out of Moodle? So essentially, a standard learning management system allows you really a common core feature set with the ability to do online testing, online quizzing, online assignments, adding your own content, linking out to external content, but also start off with a foundation as well where we've added content. We've been doing that for quite some time. However, we've received a lot of feedback on the usability. And so based on that feedback, we've incorporated that into the new Navigate 2 platform. So with that collaborative team, customer feedback, we've really kind of redesigned the look and the feel to be more user-friendly. And we've also chosen a color scheme which embraces the colorblind friendly as well. And another new change in Navigate 2 is that it uses something called responsive design. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and open up a separate screen so that you can see in my web browser the new Navigate 2 platform. So you'll find that it's very user-friendly. So you should see now the Navigate 2 platform in my web browser. So as I mentioned, this also embraces the responsive design. Really what that means is as I increase the screen to simulate an experience on something like an iPad or an Android device, you'll notice our tabs that were at the top of the screen now turn into banners. So responsive design means that it's going to deliver the most optimal setting, the most optimal viewing setting for the individual, for the user. So let me go ahead and reduce the viewing settings so that it's more optimal so you can see everything. So you'll notice that we've made a few changes to Navigate 2. If you've seen Navigate 1 before, we've added all of these tabular designs. So the first tab that we look at, we can see we've got the lessons pathway. On the lessons pathway, we've pre-built using the instructor resources that you're traditionally accustomed to seeing that aligns with the textbook. we've pre-built this, this environment. We've uploaded all of the content that aligns with the textbook. That includes things like learning objectives, flashcards, ebooks, practice activities, slides. So we're giving you that foundation there. In addition, because we've also seen that many users learn differently, we wanted to embrace that different learning model. So on the Learning Tools pathway, that incorporates all of the resources, same identical resources in the lessons pathway, but it's now available on the Learning Tools pathway, and it's organized by type. So on the lessons pathway, it's organized by chapter, and all of the resources are in those chapters, and when you expand the chapter, you see all of the resources, while on the Learning Tools pathway, it's organized by type. So if we see the ebook is all together. On the Study Center, we can see all of the flashcards all at once. If we want to see the learning objectives all at once, we can do that. Then lastly, we have another tab that's called the Teaching Tools pathway. And in the Teaching Tools pathway, there's a couple of things. We have the course materials that you would traditionally use in the classroom. So if you wanted to teach directly from Navigate 2, you have the ability to do that. So we've organized by product type for you as well, but we've also added some additional tools and resources like managing assessments. That's going to allow you to create quizzes and exams, and then manage items would basically allow you to create your own test questions. Manual grading is something that is, if you do decide you want to create your own essay questions and you need to manually grade those, that's that plug-in that will allow you to do that. So let's return back to the lessons pathway. As you've noticed, I've mentioned a couple of times that we are embracing mobile technology, and there are several components we've really focused on to embrace that mobile technology. That includes the ebook. The ebook, I'm happy to say, is now available in all Navigate 2 offerings, and the access for Navigate 2 is accompanied with the textbook. So with every purchase of the textbook for delivering healthcare in the USA, the student will also receive free access to the online resources. So let me, just as a quick review, every purchase of the textbook, the student will receive free access to the Navigate 2 platform as well as the ebook. If they would like to purchase just the digital access, I believe the cost is half of the cost of the book. So we've really, focused on embracing the mobile, technology. So I'm happy to report that the new ebook also does embrace that mobile technology. We've built out 2 applications, one on iTunes and one on the Google Play Store, and it's called the Navigate e-reader. So users have the ability to download the ebook, pull it offline, complete content offline, and then once they are back in Wi-Fi range, it syncs back up to the servers where the educator can see their activity. They can see any of the end of chapter quizzes in the ebook, any of their completion, where they're spending most of their time throughout the logs. So this is the ebook. You'll notice on the right-hand side we have all of the tools to modify, create, and update. Then down at the bottom we have some additional icons as well. So let's focus our attention on the right-hand side. So if I wanted to add a marginal note, I can do that. Students can do that. But a new development is that if you are an instructor in a course and you'd like to share this note with a student or a group of students, you now have the flexibility and the ability to do that. You can also add an audio note, which is a 3-minute clip. And in the same fashion of the typed out notes, you also have the ability to share those voice notes with a student or a group of students or the entire class. You can also embed links. So let's say you had a specific YouTube video you'd like to embed directly in Navigate embed it directly in the ebook, you can go ahead and link out to that YouTube video, and then the students will be able to click on it from within the ebook. And that includes, if they've got a mobile device, they'll be able to click on it. Now, the only component that they would need to consider is when they click on that URL, they will need to have Wi-Fi in order to click on that external URL or YouTube video, because that requires a live feed. But all the other content that's inside the ebook, they can pull that offline. You can also add what we call a page link, and what a page link is it allows you to cross-reference the material. So if you'd like to cross-reference something that is in Chapter 2 with, let's say, Chapter 10, you can make that cross-reference and then the students can access it. They would just click on the icon and it would display that link. There's some standard viewing changes that you also have the ability to make, but those are pretty standard, so I'm not going to go through those at this point. You also have the ability to highlight content. And in the same fashion as notes and the voice notes, you can share that highlighted content with your students or a group of students. The book is also fully indexed, so if I search on a key term, I can search on a key term, and that will pull up all of the instances that healthcare is displayed in the textbook. And I can click on that, and it will bring me to that page, as well as highlighting that key term that I'm searching on. Also, one of the things that you'll notice is there's periodically throughout the textbook you'll find some terms underlined with that dotted underline. If the student clicks on that, it's basically a glossary term. So when they click on that glossary term, it will immediately pop up the glossary term with the definition. Students also have the ability to print pages. They can print pages with their highlights and so on. In addition to this, we've also embedded media-rich content inside the textbook. That's going to include things like knowledge check questions. There's several knowledge check questions, between 3 to 5 per chapter. Some chapters might have a few more than that. And we've also embedded an e-book quiz, a preloaded e-book quiz. So when the students complete the activity, the quiz, it will report directly into your gradebook on Navigate 2. And then we've also added a few related documents for the students. And when they click on that item, it's going to blink and show us that we can go ahead and download that. And that's just a Word document, so what I'm getting is a security request. Do I really want to open it or save it? That's pretty standard. All right, so let's return back to the course. And I'm actually going to flip back to the PowerPoint presentation so we can look at some of the analytics as well. So if you'll bear with me for a moment as we flip that over. Oh, and I should pause for a moment to talk about the assessments. So we have done the due diligence of providing you with a turnkey solution in Navigate 2. So as I've already mentioned, in every ebook we have an end of chapter ebook quiz, as well as knowledge check questions embedded directly in the ebook. But we've also pre-built a quiz for every chapter in Navigate 2, as well as a midterm and a final, and also practice activities. Midterm, final, and ebook will grade automatically. The practice activities is set to a non-graded item, but you have the ability to turn that into a graded item. So if you want it to be considered a homework assignment, you can do that. So we've pre-built all of the assessments for you. If you would like to use the assessments that we've created for you, you have the ability to do that, or you can create your own. You can also add your own test questions. So there's a lot of flexibility. You also have the ability, let me just flip back real quickly to the Navigate 2 and share the one little modification that one little component that I forgot to speak about, and that is it's very user-friendly in Navigate 2. So we give you the ability in the foundation, we add that into the course, but we also give you the ability to modify what's already there. So if you decided you wanted to drag and drop a chapter and move that around, or if you needed to move content within a chapter, let's say you wanted to move your practice activities all into into chapter 1 and then rename chapter 1 into week 1, you could certainly go ahead and move that content around. So it's very user-friendly. It's very flexible. We've also added a grade book, and in the grade book, you also have the ability to view all of the preloaded assessments that we've added for you. So I'm going to jump back now and speak to the analytics. So I apologize for the back and forth a little bit. So another component with Navigate 2 is we've added the new analytics. With the analytics, you as the educator have the ability to pull up things like, for example, this report, we have the most popular chapters versus the least popular chapters, the worst performing chapters, the best performing chapters. And then you can also drill down in greater detail on the class engagement. You can see how many hours they've spent in the class. You can see how many resources are being viewed, the annotations are made. And again, these are all clickable graphics to drill down even further into their success rate. So when you're looking at the student engagement, you can see how many pages are viewed, how many resources have been looked at, and then how that correlates to their grade. So we anticipate that with the more content that they're viewing, their grade will draw a direct correlation from that. You'll see a better performing student. It also draws a comparison between the best performing students and the worst performing students. So you can see where they're spending most of their time, and this is actually a pretty good example of that. So we have Mark, who spent quite a bit of time on viewing the resources and making annotations and hours spent in the classroom, and that has a direct result or direct impact on his grade. So what makes Navigate 2 unique? First is something called Evergreen. Evergreen allows for content updates. So let's say, for example, we have released 10 new questions for Chapter 2, and we'd like to share them with you. Well, we have the ability to share those out to you. We can push that out through the Evergreen content update, and then you as the user have the ability to accept or decline those updates. Also, I mentioned earlier, the Solutions Analyst team, the Implementation Specialist are available to support your product and do training. We do have a very robust technical support team located in Kansas City. It's a U.S.-based support team, and they are very knowledgeable about Navigate, and that they're actually an internal resource. It's not something that we outsource because we want to make sure that they're experts on the system and they can provide you with the highest level of support. The support translates to both students and instructors, which is something that's unique as a publishing company. That's not always the case in most publishing companies. So we're going to support your students. So if your students have specific questions about Navigate, you can send them our way and we'll go ahead and help them out. But in addition to that, we also provide training to our educators. So once you've decided to move forward with the training, with the technology, please reach out to your sales representative and they can set up time with a solutions analyst so that we can go through step by step all of the key components in Navigate 2, how you'll use it, how you'll create a quiz, if you want to track attendance, so on and so forth. So we do encourage at least a 1-hour free training session. It's web-based, but we can also be available as follow-up for questions that you'd like to continue to modify your course with.